You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, a Carthage school teacher gives the gift of life to a retired colleague.
Plus, the Joplin Fire Department receives the gift of a grant from a utility provider.
And we've got a chilly but clear start across the 4 states ahead of a pretty decent day out there. We'll take another look at that forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 a.m. on this Thursday morning, almost Friday.
We're almost there.
We're getting there slowly but surely. Looking forward to the weekend. I know we've got the Maple Leaf Festival.
Yes,
we've got the Maple Leaf Parade Saturday morning. And we'll get to the forecast a little later, but usually when we go, it's freezing in the morning ahead of that parade. But we're looking to be slightly warmer for the parade, which I'm looking forward to because, man, I love the parade, but I hate sitting out there freezing to death.
It makes it rough, right?
It makes it hard to enjoy it because you're too busy doing this number the whole time. So
bring some hot coffee and a thermos.
Oh, yeah.
There
absolutely.
You go. Well, cemeteries impact the community by not only being a place of rest, but also providing a glimpse into the past.
KOAM's Amber Jenkins continues her look at 4 state cemeteries with a visit to 2 of them in Pittsburgh.
Still get a lot of requests from families out of state to bring the remains to be buried where they're from, be back in their community for their final resting place.
The City of Pittsburgh Parks and Recs Department is proud that Mount Olive Cemetery serves the community by offering a peaceful and beautiful resting place. The natural beauty is maintained by a local landscaping company that the city is thankful for.
The landscape maintenance and stuff, depending on the season, grass, it's probably anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 a month to maintain the cemetery to this high of standard.
A Pitt State history professor, Dr. Chris Lawson, says cemeteries near campus not only serve the community, but academia as well. She takes her students to Highland Cemetery south of campus and documents the headstones to share online.
This semester we took 130 pictures that were untaken in the past, and 13 of them had been specifically requested by relatives or descendants, and that's rewarding. It's fulfilling to do that.
Keeping history alive not only means keeping cemeteries tidy, but also remembering the stories that make the community what it is today.
Each one of these people here had a story, and they had people they left behind, and it's good to make those connections year-round, not just at Halloween.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Some Mount Olive and Highland Cemetery graves date back to the mid-1800s, and that's pretty old.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, and we've got some pretty historic graves and old cemeteries around this area.
They're fascinating, aren't they?
They are. I think it was my junior year in high school, we took a field trip for American history out to a cemetery in Joplin because there were Civil War graves,
right?
Civil War era graves out there, and our job was to find somebody from that era and research them.
That's fascinating.
So there's a lot of great history out there, a
Yes.
lot of fascinating history out there across the area. We've got a pretty decent day. We're a little chilly to start this morning, but we're otherwise looking pretty good. Our temperatures are going to go about average. We've got clear skies as we get the day underway, which we will show you because we love to show you these beautiful clear skies. Look at that. It looks wonderful out there from 7th and Range Line. And the MODOK camera, 32nd and Range Line. Looking great as well. Clear skies across the area. As we look outside again, clear skies. A little chilly though. 50 in Joplin, 47 in Pittsburgh this morning. As we get our day started and go through our Thursday, look at this weather. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. We're looking at temperatures going eventually into the low to mid 70s out there. Maybe a few clouds here or there, but otherwise just a fantastic average day in the 4 states as our highs are right about where they should be. We do have some warmer weather on the way. We also have some thunderstorm chances next week. We'll take a look at all that in your full forecast here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. The verdict is in from a Jasper County murder trial in a case where an argument ended with a gunshot. Jurors yesterday took less than 30 minutes to find Damian Fisher guilty of second-degree murder and armed criminal action in the 2022 death of Scotty Roller of Neosho. Authorities say the two got into an argument over the purchase of a vehicle in Joplin. Prosecutors say Fisher took a handgun out of his waistband and shot Roller in the back as he was fleeing. Fisher and his father then disposed of the body by hiding it in a well at a property in Newton County. Damian Fisher will be sentenced at a later date. And Eddie Fisher, Damian's father, previously pleaded guilty to abandonment of a corpse and receiving stolen property. Eddie Fisher is serving 7 years in prison. Early voting has begun in Cherokee County, Kansas. Interested voters can stop by the Cherokee County Courthouse Monday through Friday until November 6th at noon. The election is November 7th, and the polls on Election Day will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Caney Valley schools are moving to a 4-day schedule starting Monday, October 30th, as a water crisis continues. According to the district release, the district is making other changes to help conserve water usage. That includes no showers at the school and consideration of a modified sports schedule for the remainder of the semester. The drought in southeast Kansas caused the water issues for Caney in both 2023 and 2022. The Joplin Fire Department yesterday received a grant from Missouri American Water. The grant is part of the more than $55,000 being awarded to 47 Missouri fire departments and emergency response organizations. The utility company provides annual critical funding to first responders in the company's service areas.
It's absolutely vital with October being Fire Prevention Month. We're utilizing the grant funding we're getting from this grant to resupply. We're buying some new puppets for the puppet shows that we put on for the schools. We're also buying educational materials that we'll be handing out.
Missouri American Water is investing about $450 million this year to improve reliable water service, which is critical for fire protection. A Carthage Junior High educator is teaching more than math to her students this semester. Nicole Ranking is donating her kidney to the district's retired librarian, Betsy McCrary, giving an example of selflessness. But this is not the first time this has happened in the district. 2 years ago, teacher Chelsea Abbott donated her kidney to special ed teacher Jason Worrell.
Just an easy decision. I have 2 healthy kidneys. Betsy needs a healthy kidney, so why would I not just do it?
Just everyday heroes. We think about a hero being this big, like football player or a big basketball player or something like that. But a hero, everyday hero comes with just stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something for someone else.
The Carthage School District hosted a luncheon to commemorate the story and provide financial support to both Nicole and Betsy. Their surgeries will happen on October 31st, and we wish them a speedy recovery. Up next, job-based health insurance is a lot more expensive for companies and workers this year. And later, how the effects of bullying may continue into adulthood. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. In Health Watch this morning, most people probably know diet and exercise are crucial for fitness, but it turns out being more specific about those things can lead to a healthier kind of weight loss. That's the finding of a study out of the journal Drama Network opened Wednesday. It looks at people who followed a low-calorie Mediterranean diet and exercise minimally up to 6 days a week. The results indicate that combination doesn't just reduce fat, it also adds muscle. The study also shows that combo can decrease visceral belly fat. That's a dangerous kind because it's linked to diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Job-based health insurance is a lot more expensive for companies and workers this year. Yearly premiums for family health insurance coverage at work soared to an average of nearly $24,000. That's according to KFF's Employer Health Benefits Survey and represents a 7% jump from last year. The average employee share of the annual premium came out of the $6,575. That's a jump of almost $500 from last year, or nearly 8%. For individual coverage, the average annual premium increased to $8,435, almost up 7% from last year. Of that premium, the employee is paying just over $1,400, about $75 more than last year. KFF, formerly better known as the Kaiser Family Foundation, says the jump in premiums is roughly in line with inflation. Though it is large, it corresponds with the rise in wages and inflation since 2022, as well as over the past 5 years. It's National Bullying Prevention Month, and about 1 in every 5 students in the U.S. between the ages of 12 and 18 says that they've been a victim of bullying. In a 2019 nationwide study, they found that the effects of bullying may continue into adulthood. And health experts say that prevention is critical. In Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has advice from a therapist on how to raise a child not to be a bully.
It can impact every part of a person's life. Being bullied as a child can leave lasting scars.
It can make some kids feel depressed, hopeless, even suicidal.
Parents and caregivers play a big role in bullying prevention, says licensed therapist Jody Baumstein with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta's Strong for Life program.
No child plans or wants to be a bully. And so we have to think about what it is that's going on.
Baumstein says prevention starts at home by creating a safe environment where children can talk about their feelings.
We don't want kids to start to internalize things, push things down, suck it up, because it's going to come out at some point. It's going to come out in other ways. It could come out at other people.
Empathy is also a key component, Baumstein says, to teach kids early how to think about others and how their behavior may impact someone else.
You can do this with play. And when you're playing with puppets or dolls or anything else, get them to think about what the other characters or dolls might be experiencing. Or if you're reading a book, stop and pause and ask them, what do you think that character is feeling?
Baumstein says to also teach coping skills to help children navigate their feelings so they don't come out in other ways.
That could be everything from deep breathing to using physical activity and movement to release stress, to being creative, drawing, coloring.
And finally, teach by example.
We can't expect kids to do something that we ourselves are not doing.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Baumstein also says it's important for parents not to normalize bullying or downplay its effects, including bullying online or through text, which has affected nearly 1 in 6 bullied teens that were surveyed.
We've got a cool start out there for us, but despite that cool start, temperatures are going to warm up as we head into the afternoon hours with mostly sunny skies. We'll take another look at that forecast here in just a few more minutes. And coming up, birds do it, bees do it. But guess what? Female frogs, you got to see what they do to avoid doing it. We'll have the latest on that when we come back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Joining me today in studio is Pastor Tom Wehrman, and he's here to tell us all about Project Warmth. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, you're very welcome.
So what is Project Warmth?
Project Warmth is a fundraiser in which we get together funds to help people in Crawford County who are having difficulty in getting their utility bills paid, especially during the winter months.
Absolutely. It's starting to get colder. Those bills are coming in, and they're a lot higher than what we're used to, right? So
Yep.
You're putting on this amazing chili soup and pie event where people can come in, pay for the meal, and then the proceeds go where?
The proceeds, our distributing agencies are Catholic Charities and also then the Salvation Army. And so they help us to get the money to where it is needed.
So tell us more about the food being served here. What can we expect?
Well, you can, I was just today it is chilly weather,
Right,
so,
that comfort food.
Yep. A delicious bowl of chili or potato soup, and then along with that, a nice slice of pie. Our chili's being cooked up by Lord Steiner this year with help from Marone's with ingredients. The soup is being cooked up by Touchpoint, and Ascension Via Christi's helping provide the needed ingredients for that. Signet's bringing us coffee.
All right.
And tea and lemonade. Crawford County Mental Health is serving that up for us. So.
I love that. So not only can people come and get their lunch today, but you can also get takeout, I understand, in case you don't want to do the cooking tonight for the family. Could be a great opportunity, and it's going to a good cause, right?
That's right. So, so we'll be serving lunch from 11 until 2, and you can either take out or come and sit down, bring a friend, have a little lunch together and be able to visit together. And then from 4:30 to 5:30, it's takeout only. And I don't want to forget to mention our pies.
The pies, okay.
Pies, because the pies are provided by folks from our churches and other organizations in the community. And Yeah, and sometimes people will come and not only get a slice, but they'll come and get a whole pie to take home.
Right? That's a win-win. All right,
Yep.
so happening today at the Pittsburgh Memorial Auditorium in the lower level, Project Warmth from 11 to 2 for dine-in, but you can also do takeout or carry out from 4:30 to 5:30.
You got it.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
make
Hope
sure
to
you
see
guys all
everybody there.
check it out. Sounds like a great event. And we'll be right back with more news after this.
Well, birds do it, bees do it, but you got to see what female frogs do to avoid doing it.
CNN's Jeannie Moose reporting it gives new meaning to the phrase croaking frogs.
Forget not tonight, honey. I have a headache. This is more like, honey, I'm dead.
We call it like feigning death.
Instead of male frogs being debonair.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
And suave.
One kiss.
Unless you beg for more.
Like in fairy tales, real male frogs tend to be aggressive. So what's a girl to do? Drop dead. That's one of the mating avoidance behaviors described in a study done at the Museum of Natural History in Berlin. Watch as the male frog clings to the female beneath him, how she remains unresponsive, stiff, legs outstretched. The male gives up while she continues to just lie there for several minutes. The technical term is tonic immobility.
She was very convincing.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
I was starting to worry about her.
I was also worried when I saw the video.
Only after the male and another female he was chasing collided with the dead frog did she spring to life. Online posters related. Damn, I think I dated a frog. Humans identify with faking.
You faked with me?
Yeah.
You faked with me?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You faked it.
I faked it.
But the study's main author, Dr. Carolyn Dittrich, doesn't believe the female frogs are consciously faking.
I think it's a stress response.
An automatic response of the body to stress, and no amount of music is going to get her in the mood. Jeannie Moose, CNN, New York.
Interesting.
Fascinating.
They really do go through great lengths to avoid those things. But there's also that possibility, according to the study, that they're not doing it intentionally. They're just stressed.
There you go. All right. Well, coming up, a home improvement company teams up to help build a better future for a Joplin nonprofit.
And again, we've got a chilly day out there, but it's going to start to warm up. We'll have a look at that forecast when we come back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. The time now is 7:28 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. Both Missouri and Kansas have made changes to hunting season this fall. The biggest change is that Kansas will not have a fall turkey season. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has a story.
While the hope is that the decision to suspend fall turkey season in Kansas will help replenish population numbers, local businesses are taking a hit. The Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks says the reason for the suspension is due to declining turkey populations and that it is uncertain when the fall season will be reopened. Adam Gargaletti says the suspension of the season may help populations, but worries about what could happen in the spring and years to come.
What starts to worry me more than anything is talking about spring season being reduced, or now non-residents having to draw for spring hunting. Then again, I hate to look at the state as a whole because we're not. Southeast Kansas, our area is a lot more rich with game, fish, trees. We have a different environment than Pratt, Kansas, or west of Wichita.
Another part of Adam's worries is the fact that non-residents are attracted to Southeast Kansas for its hunting. Adam says that non-residents have a desire to hunt in Southeast Kansas. Many usually spend several days in the area, which can drive the local economy.
Yeah, I'm very concerned because since last Saturday, I've personally waited on 65 people that are going to South Dakota to go pheasant hunting, which is great. Good for them, good time. but I see the money going to other states rather than staying within our own state.
So while the population of a non-indigenous species may get restored, is such a plan sustainable for local businesses? Reporting in Pittsburgh, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
We'll be talking to the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks next week to see what plans are in place to help restore numbers faster. We'll also bring you more information about the changes that we are seeing this hunting season in Missouri.
Well, we've got a cool start out there, but not too bad. It's fall-like. Taking a look outside from our camera 7th and range line, clear skies, a beautiful start to the day. Again, albeit a bit on the cool side, and clear skies visible from the MoDOT camera 32nd and range line on the south side of Joplin. So with those clear skies in mind, temperatures look like this. We're sitting at 50 in Joplin, a little cooler up in Pittsburgh though, 45 degrees right now. However, we're looking at a relatively seasonable day in terms of our temperatures. Mostly clear skies, maybe a few clouds here or there. Breeze not too bad. It may occasionally gust upwards of 20, but nothing too extreme. And temperatures pushing into the low to mid 70s as we head into the afternoon. So again, a great seasonable day. Warmer weather's on the way and thunderstorm chances are on the way. We'll look at all that in your forecast coming up.
Volunteers from Lowe's yesterday helped clean up around a children's crisis center in Joplin. The volunteers cleaned up leaves and built new benches for the Children's Haven. It's part of Lowe's Hometown's Community Impact Program. Officials say the Children's Haven was chosen because of a family connection.
So we have an employee whose mom works at Lowe's, and she saw it and she nominated us, and there were thousands of grant applications for them, and they narrowed it down to 200, and then they narrowed it down to 100, and so we're just so excited to be a part of that.
The Lowe's Hometowns Community Impact Program has committed $100 million to projects nationwide. And the Maple Leaf Festival in Carthage is well underway, but it's not all food and games. Last night, the Chamber of Commerce hosted a night of worship at Central Park. People were able to bring chairs to the park and worship together.
We usually do it in the church, but we wanted everybody to feel invited. And so we put it in the park, and more people are coming, and outdoor worship is awesome. We're also showing a video about the importance of our nation and what we're going through right now. And we're going to be praying for the nation and also for Israel. And we will have some wonderful worship sets with a worship team made up of several different churches.
The festival continues through Saturday. Today is a 3 Minutes of Fame event. Then the carnival kicks off on Friday, and there will be a parade on Saturday. The City of Pittsburgh Parks and Rec Department is proud that Mount Olive Cemetery serves the community by offering a peaceful and beautiful resting place. The natural beauty is maintained by a local landscaping company.
You know, the landscape maintenance and stuff, depending on the season, grass, it's probably anywhere from, $10,000 to $20,000 a month to maintain the cemetery to this high of standard.
Mount Olive has approximately 10,000 graves. Firefighters in Girard, Kansas put out more than just fires. Turns out they also put out some great stories. The Girard Fire Department hit the public library yesterday for story time. And just in case a great story didn't capture the minds of the young well enough, they also brought out firefighting equipment and a fire truck. Another reason for the visit, teaching fire safety.
Understanding fire safety, have a plan in place with your family, how to get out in case there is a fire, how to contact, have a meeting place, just fire prevention itself.
October is Fire Prevention Month. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. We have Natasha O'Brien to tell us about MSSU's news performance, Guys and Dolls.
As we've been talking about, it's a cool start out there, but a pretty pleasant day. Got another nice day ahead of us. We'll talk about that in the weekend forecast when we come back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Joining me today in studio is Ethan Huber and Peyton Nally to tell us all about your guys' upcoming performance. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
What can we expect for the show?
It's going to be a fun show. It's our first show in Taylor Auditorium, and anyone who's familiar with Guys and Dolls know it's as the director put it, a very bright and lively show. Very exciting, golden age theater, lots of fun, lots of music. It's here for the performance, the presentation of it.
I love it. And why did you choose this play particularly?
That's a question for our director, really. But I think it was, it's a big name. It's a good show that we need for the first show for Taylor Auditorium to fill seats. It's a big theater. We have, I think, the biggest seating capacity within 50 miles of Joplin.
Really?
And
That's
yes.
impressive. Very impressive.
And that just is a fun show, classic. And everyone loves it.
Yeah, it was a safe bet on that one.
It was?
Yeah.
And what are your guys' roles?
I'm Harry, the voice of Joey Biltmore, and the main Havana dancer and the props manager behind the scenes, or assistant prop manager.
And I'm Big Jewel. He's the closest thing to a villain in the show. I'm supposed to be 6 foot tall and intimidating, which is obviously what I am. And I'm helping out with PR and stuff.
I love that. Okay, you guys. So how big is this production, and is it going to be a lot of theater majors, or is it just anyone that wanted to audition as part of the play?
It's the core is usually theater majors, musical theater performance, sometimes music majors, but we're open to anyone who wants to come. We have 20. I'm a mass communications major. I just doubled in music this semester, but we have KOAM majors, we have art majors, we have general studies majors, but we also have our strong core of theater performance.
I'm a musical theater major, but there are other people who are just coming in to do the play, and I mean it's going to be the same for Great Gatsby next semester, I believe.
Oh, great!
So, and look, one of our leads, Emery Wright, she plays Sarah Brown. She's in high school. She's 17. She's like a Nats champion and everything. But she, so you don't even have to necessarily be in our school.
Yeah.
We're open to anyone who wants to come.
I love that. And where can people go to get tickets and watch your guys' performance?
There's a website. It's showtix4u.com.
Yeah.
Something like that. Just go to the MSSU Performing Arts Department website or the Facebook page. We also sell tickets at the door.
I love that. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Look forward to seeing you guys live on stage.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, stick around because we've got more news coming up next.
Is most helpful when those microphones are turned on. They work a lot better that way unless you're just really good at lip reading. I got a chilly start out there though. 38 in Parsons. They've been the cold spot all morning. 45 Pittsburgh, 47 Chinook, 48 Iola, 45 Chatopa, 44 in Miami, 50 in Joplin, 50 Cassville, Stockton, 51 the warm spot in Bentonville, and 49 in Carthage. So down the road, as we head into next week, we got some waves coming in, some systems that are going to be bringing us some much needed rain chances. It's, of course, not going to erase the drought. We've got a long time to go before we get to that level, but any rain we can get is better than no rain. That's what we're going to be expecting as we head through nearly every day next week. We're going to see opportunities for scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area. And as you saw, there's pauses here and there. That's why these are scattered. It's not going to rain necessarily all day, every day next week, but we at least do have those chances, and they're going to stick with us virtually every day next week, which is fantastic because, again, we really need this rain. We got our morning started. Again, we're starting off in the chilly note out there, and then we're going to see mostly clear skies and go right around 60 by 11 a.m., and then we head through the afternoon, and we're looking pretty good out there as we go about average, highs in the low to mid 70s. And of course, if you're along and west of the Highway 75 corridor, you might even make the upper 70s near 80. Could be a few clouds here and there, but otherwise not bad. Same through the evening, mostly clear skies, mostly clear overnight. And we're looking a little bit milder, a few more of those low to mid 50s across the area. Still some upper 40s possible, but most of it's going to be pinch warmer tonight. We're going to go mid 70s tomorrow, sunny skies. Well, even though we're looking at cloudy skies maybe this weekend, we're not looking at rain chances this weekend. I know we got a lot of things going on. I got the Maple Leaf Parade and Festival there. We're actually looking pretty decent when we start the day, mid-upper 50s. when the parade gets started, so it'll be kind of nice and change from the years past. And then mid-70s both days, and our rain chances won't kick in until next week. And then that's when our temperatures at least briefly get close to 80 Monday and Tuesday. And then the more rain and thunderstorms we see, the more our temperatures fall back to average and back into the upper 60s and lower 70s. That's check your forecast. Now here's Caitlin with Consumer Watch.
Thanks, Chris. In Northeast Ohio, an Amazon location will become the first to officially test out a new package option. The fulfillment center is transitioning from plastic packaging to paper. Nadine Abusada has more on how this will impact the environment.
Scott Maynard has been working at Amazon for 2.5 years now.
Anything from packing at a station, helping associates, helping operations.
For him, every day his tasks are different, and now his packaging is too.
With the paper, it's a lot better material. It's easier to work with. You don't got to worry about plastic sticking all over the place. And obviously, you know, the recycle factor of it.
The Amazon Euclid Fulfillment Center is the first location to officially transition from plastic packaging to paper.
It's great to see our customers receiving these all-paper packages for the first time.
Every day, this location ships out 100,000 packages, which will now be packed in one of 3 ways: box, paper bag, or a padded option. That's all done by their newly rebuilt machines. Each machine looks at the order catalog before scanning the products to detect its size, then packing it in what it decides is most efficient and lightweight. If you take a look at the conveyor belt, you will see some items still wrapped in plastic. That's because that is what Amazon calls ship-in product packaging, meaning they send out the item in its original packaging.
These are products where Amazon hasn't added any additional packaging.
Amazon says paper is recyclable and preferable to plastic, but is it more environmentally friendly?
Most of them are not biodegradable, so they end up in landfills, or worse, they end up in the environment somewhere.
While Mayette, a Case Western polymer science and engineering professor, agrees that plastic bags aren't good, but in terms of environmental impact, paper bags are worse.
The impact of making the paper that goes into the paper bags, the felling of the trees, all the chemicals that are used in the making of the paper, the huge amounts of water that are made, that are used in making the paper.
Having to pick one or the other really comes down to preference.
So in terms of environmental, in terms of total energetic and CO2 impact, plastic bags are better, but in terms of disposal at the end of life, paper bags are better. So it's really an option.
At the end of the day, the customers are the ones that will decide.
I mean, anything like that is always good to especially get the customer feedback.
If the paper packaging test run goes well in Ohio, other Amazon facilities will do the same. And days after announcing its bankruptcy filing, Rite Aid says that it plans to close 154 stores nationwide. That includes 40 locations in its home state of Pennsylvania. The pharmacy chain filed for Chapter 11 in order to restructure amid slumping sales and mounting opioid-related lawsuits. And Netflix is raising its prices once again. The ad-free basic plan now costs $11.99 a month, a $2 increase. And the premium plan is getting bumped up $3 a month to $22.99. Netflix says it gained nearly 9 million subscribers this summer after its crackdown on password sharing. And great news for anybody who likes the window seat. Starting next week, United Airlines says they'll begin boarding economy window seat passengers first. The airline says the move is expected to save up to 2 minutes on boarding time. And we'll be right back with more after this, but first, let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. A blast from your pizza past that once hit the open roads is now hitting the auction block.
Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
A weird and wild vintage pizza delivery vehicle going up for auction could serve up a slice of nostalgia for one lucky bidder. This is the 1985 Domino's Pizza Triton A2 delivery car. Originally commissioned by the pizza chain's founder, the vehicle was designed with custom pie warmers on board and boasted an impressive 80 miles per gallon. Only 10 Tritons were ever made, and only a few remain today. This one is set to go up for auction in November, and although Mecum Auctions hasn't yet released an expected price, the last one was sold by Bonhams for nearly 45 grand. So, if you have a taste for a cheesy 80s vibe and you've got the dough, there's no topping this age-old space-age pizza-mobile. A blast from the past had bookworms buzzing in New York when the Larchmont Public Library received a returned book that was almost 90 years overdue. Stamped as checked out in 1933, the book could have amassed as much as $6,400 in fines, but thankfully the library, just happy to have the book back, capped their fine at a much more manageable $5. Finally, speaking of long overdue, take a look at an adorable happy couple who just tied the knot at 96 years old. To be fair, Doris Kirks and Carl Cruz, both 96, only met a couple of years ago at their Kansas senior living community, but said in no time flat they knew they wanted to spend the rest of their lives together. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
I love that story.
That was very cute. I want that spaceship car, though. 80 miles per gallon.
Right? I thought that thing was pretty nifty looking.
I mean, you can't carry anybody else with you, but
pizzas.
Right. But if you're making a pizza run for the family, you don't need to get delivery because you can go pick it up and you got pizza warmers in the car. So I think that's a phenomenal thing to have. And you won't really need pizza warmers over the next few days, at least during the daylight hours, as we're going to continue to be warm. Let's take a quick look. Skywatch Storm Tracker, nothing out there. I know you see that rain stuff. It looks like rain right over Tulsa, but that's not actually there. What is actually there is a few clouds. So that's what we're talking about today. A few clouds will be possible on the backside of this low pressure system. That's our rain showers and drizzle that we got yesterday, which didn't add up to much of anything, so forget that. But we have better rain chances as we head into the next week. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line right now. Plentiful sunshine, clear skies out there, looking great, and our day looks great as well. Mostly clear skies out there, pushing into the low to mid 70s for our highs, so a fantastic Thursday. We're going to continue to warm up, and then as I mentioned, we also have some additional thunderstorm chances in our forecast. We're going to take a look at the full forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Caney Valley schools are moving to a 4-day schedule starting Monday, October 30th, as a water crisis continues. According to the district release, the district is making other changes to help conserve water usage. That includes no showers at the school and consideration of a modified sports schedule for the remainder of the semester. The drought in southeast Kansas caused the water issues for Caney in both 2023 and 2022. Nicole Rankin is donating her kidney to the district's retired librarian, Betsy McCrary, giving an example of selflessness. But this is not the first time this happened in the district. 2 years ago, teacher Chelsea Abbott donated her kidney to special ed teacher Jason Worrell. And the Joplin Fire Department yesterday received a grant from Missouri American Water. The grant is part of the more than $55,000 being awarded to 47 Missouri fire departments and emergency response organizations. The utility company provides annual critical funding to first responders in the service areas.
We've got an average day out there, mostly clear skies, a few passing clouds here and there. Temperatures on the average, about average as we go into low to mid 70s. We'll have clear skies throughout the evening, again overnight as well, maybe a passing cloud or two, otherwise not bad. Overnight lows dropping back into the low to mid 50s across the area. We got a beautiful Friday, sunny skies, mid 70s, and even though we've got clouds this weekend, no rain expected, so that's good news for our festivals. But those that need the rain, don't worry. Next week, that rain will really start to settle in here. We'll see thunderstorm chances increasing starting on Monday, and temperatures warm initially and then falling back to normal by the end of next week.
All right, well, the future looks bright for what is being called the world's first ever solar-powered off-road vehicle.
The vehicle, called Stella Terra, completed a 620-mile test drive through challenging terrain in Morocco. The vehicle was designed by a group of students from Technical University of Eindhoven in the Netherlands. Stella Terra runs on solar energy it gets through rooftop panels. So you combine that with that Domino's spaceship vehicle.
You're set.
You are good to go for a while, I would think. So that's not a bad deal at all there, at least not in my opinion. You know, but hey, rocket ship cars and solar powered.
What will they think of next, huh, Chris?
Sometimes I wonder if we want to know what they're going to think about next. Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We will be back here with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your day, 4 States.